In 1988, toward the end of the Cold War, Poland experienced hyperinflation. This is 20,000 Polish zloty. That's Mary Curry on it. And at the time, 1,400 Polish zloty was equal to roughly $1. And so this is roughly $15. In 1992, Sunshine Mint, which is just outside of Wallace, Idaho, made a 1 ounce silver commemorative season's greetings. I think at the time silver was about $3 an ounce. So this bill bought you about 4 of these silver rounds, right, at the time. Now, fast forward to after the transitory hyperinflation of the ending of the Cold War, Poland adopted capitalism in 1989, and their inflation rate started to slow. And at the time, the Polish zloty was pegged 1-to-1 to the U.S. dollar for some time. It continued to experience hyperinflation, and by 2000, it was roughly 4-to-1 before it stabilized around that level. One of the biggest industries in Poland is copper mining, so it has benefited somewhat from the rise in copper prices since 2000. And so in 2000, when the Polish zloty was 1-to-1 with the US dollar. Now keep in mind, in 1989, when they switched their currency, every 10,000 old currency units became 1. So this was actually only 2 by that time. And so it was roughly 50 US cents, right? And today, the zloty to the dollar is still roughly 4-to-1. But obviously, the dollar has lost value over the last 20 years as well, right? So this is now worth about 50 cents, assuming you could even exchange it for the new currency. I think they stopped changing them some time ago. 50 cents worth of silver is roughly about 1/50th of an ounce, right? Think about cutting this into 50 pieces. So we've devalued. We had the transitory hyperinflation, and then we had a inflation at a lower rate, right? Here I have a $2 bill from the year 1963, right? The year Kennedy was assassinated. At the time, the dollar was, the silver was roughly $1 an ounce, right? So it was roughly 2 ounces of silver. Now, the Hunt brothers drove the price of silver to $50 an ounce. So in 17 years, this note lost about 98% of its value. And then it kind of slowed down in its rate of losing value. It's still losing value. And so all this talk about the reopening causing this transitory hyperinflation, it's not like a price bubble where, okay, for the next year it's going to cost more to eat out at a restaurant because so many people are eating out. It's going to cost more to take a flight because more people want to travel now that we're reopening. It's a period where the dollar or whatever currency unit you're using is losing value fast, and then at some point in maybe the distant future, actually, it might stop losing value, right? It's kind of like, imagine that you're trying to keep your body young, right? Because you got some investments like silver that you hope to hold on to for a very long time, right? So you want to stay young. Now imagine you experience transitory aging, right? So it's hard to believe, but I'm almost old enough to run for the President of the United States, right? Now imagine in the next few months, because I got this big problem in my life, right? Maybe I'm anxious about, so right now, I got a little bit of a dilemma on my hands. I was hoping tomorrow, December 8th, is a very big anniversary for me. And I was hoping it would be my wedding date, my solo-sexual wedding. But then I see this other option that looks good too, and now I'm questioning myself, right? So imagine I get really anxious about that, and I experience transitory aging, where for the next 3 to 6 months, I age like 10, 20 years, right? And then I stop aging. Well, it's not that I'm going to be older during the next 3 to 6 months. It's that the next 3 to 6 months is going to age me, and I'm going to hopefully slow down my aging but it's going to be a permanent shift, right? I think more people can appreciate that concept.